What it do? Yo man, listen. Today, I want to talk about the meta. Let's get right into it. Now, every video is someone's first, so I need to explain the word meta. In video games, the term meta refers to the most efficient strategies, tactics, characters, or builds available at a given time. It's the current trend of how to play the game to maximize success. Currently, the guild raid meta consists of neurotrope comps, X-Star row mechanical comps, and Ragnar Blackmane multi-hit comps. If I had to order them in terms of viability, X-Star row would be the top, Ragnar Blackmane would be the second best, and neurotrope would be the third best by quite a bit. Very important note, I do feel the need to say this. In this channel, I try to give out as much information about the game and about the meta as I can to you guys, so you have the knowledge to do as much damage as possible. However, at the end of the day, it's up to you to choose to use that knowledge or not use that knowledge. If someone doesn't want to use the single most optimal thing because they find something else fun, I respect that, 100%. It's a game, you're supposed to have fun. This video, I might recommend some things that are maybe less optimal. Now, that being said, does the meta matter? Should you build meta characters over what you find fun? I mean, the answer is pretty obvious. It's of course not. You know, I'm so brave for saying that. I know. Oh, Mr. President. Oh, Mr. President, you're giving me the Presidential Medal of Freedom? Oh my goodness. Of course. Of course, I said something so brave. No, but the reason I'm saying this is because a while ago, someone had asked me about a World Eaters raid composition. They said like, hey, Draupnir, I really like World Eaters. I have like all of them built on tabletop. I want to use them in Tacticus. Can you, test some stuff out for me? I was like, of course, I like World Eaters too. More, I want to test it out. So I tested a very suboptimal team. It consisted of Karn the Betrayer, Azkor, Vrask, Eldurion, and Athena. Now, I can't really say I was surprised by the results. It really wasn't close to the meta teams. However, when I slot this into my established damage testing against a certain boss, it made me think of something. So, for context, I have used all three compositions against the same boss on the same map. The boss in question was the Screamer Killer on Legendary 3 difficulty. The map was the desert map. The desert map has a lot of high ground, a lot of low ground, and it's quite easy to trap the Screamer Killer on low ground to make sure from turn 2 onwards you can just attack at everything from high ground. Now, I'll just go quickly over the meta comps, right? X-Star mechanical comp does over 1.5 million damage, quite crazy. The Ragnar Blackmane comps, with optimal play, you can do over 900,000 damage. I put 900,000 there because it's give or take. It is what it is. And the requested World Eaters comp did 550,000 damage. That's pretty cool, When you compare it to the Ragnar comp, it does almost half the damage, or just slightly over half the damage. If you compare it to X-Star mechanical comp, it does 1/3 of the damage, 33%. A little more, I guess. However, 550,000 damage is not bad. Some of you will be like, oh my god, 550,000 damage? World Eaters are meta. And like, are the World Eaters meta? No, of course not. Of course not. It's significantly less. But I just want to say, I think these numbers, what they tell us, aside from the fact that Row is insane, and Ragnar is really good, what they tell us is, when characters are Diamond 3, they can do reasonable damage with a good support structure. Depends on what you want from the game. Numbers can mean different things. Now, personally, I want to do as much damage as possible. I don't care about the leaderboards. I don't care about what other players do. All I care about is... Actually, I do care about what other players do. I want you guys to do better, of course, but you understand what I'm saying. What I want from myself is for me to do the most amount of damage I can. I want to optimize as much as possible. I look at the guild raids as puzzles. I want to solve them. However, that's just the way I look at the game. If you look at the game in a way that like, hey, I like X character, I want to play with the X character, I don't care about hyper optimization, I don't care about the guild raid leaderboards, then maybe 500,000 is damage is good enough for you, right? Like 500,000 damage is a lot. Now, if people tell you, like for example, this might be in your guild, this might be people on the Discord and whatnot, if people tell you to build meta, and they're like, and they're like, I mean, I tell you to build meta, but I don't shame you for not using meta characters. The right thing to say is just to tell them to put the fries in the bag, bro. Okay? Because this is a game, and the goal is to have fun. And you having fun is infinitely more important than some stupid leaderboard and then like some stupid optimization. Who cares? Now, with that being said, I don't want my words to be interpreted as me saying you should run the most suboptimal team possible. I mean, that wouldn't be nice. And if you want, you can, right? Like if you say, hey, I adore these 5 characters, I want to use them, sure, more power to you, use them 100%. Just make sure you're in a guild that feels the same way. But the example I give, the team comp I used, I mean, it was almost a good team comp, right? Eldrion and Karn the Betrayer, they are meta for the Ragnar Blackmane comp. I mean, Eldrion is meta for like everything. Athena, I used there. I didn't put her image here because, I mean, she is not meta, but she's an excellent character that's meta for other bosses. But Rask and Azkor, they're not meta, they're not usable. And you might be thinking, not for you, not mine. I've been told that Draupnir's messing up, he's sick, he's making content because he likes making videos. I can't even do the voice, I'm sorry. But no, what I'm getting at is, it's also important to understand your characters and how to use them optimally. Just because you're using like a suboptimal character doesn't mean you're supposed to play suboptimally too, right? What I mean by this is, for example, in this run, I didn't use the active abilities of Rask and Karn the Betrayer until the last turn. You might be wondering like, hey Draupnir, why didn't you do that? Because Azkor was stacking his passive by getting attacked, and he was getting 2 stacks per turn. So he needed to get stacked up all the way to the end, because remember, his passive ability buffs everything. It's similar to Eldrion. It buffs like all hits for chaos melee stuff. So I was like, hey, let me do that. That'll add a lot of damage. I don't want to yap too much. You should just build what's fun for you and supplement it with some optimal stuff to get like good enough results. Of course, if you hate the meta, I respect that 100%. Just try it out fun. Thank you very much for watching the video. Have a good day and stay safe.